Wednesday, October 22, 1913.
If all the world were one great diamond, or pearl, reflecting or radiating the light of the sun and distant stars, how bright would be its vicinity. Yet, in a measure it does this, but only to a very limited degree because of the lack of luster on its surface. And as the reflecting capacity of the earth is, to that more perfect mirror, which a pearl would furnish, so is the earth life to ours here in these realms of light and beauty, the summerland of God. As we gaze out over the wide plains and valleys of the heavenly land, we are scarce able to remember the effect of the atmosphere of earth, as it had relation to our vision of terrestrial things. But we do remember certain qualities which, here, are absent. Distance is not obscured, for instance. It fades away. Trees and plants do not appear for a season, and then die. They bloom perpetually, and then, when plucked, they are fresh for a long time, but they do not droop and wither. They, too, fade, or melt away into the atmosphere. This same atmosphere is not always white. In the neighborhood of the city of the Prince Castrol, there is a sense of golden sunshine all around. It is not a mist, and does not obscure, but bathes all things in its golden radiance, without invading the various colors themselves. In other places it is of a faint pink or blue. And every region has its own peculiar tint, or sense, of color, according to the nature of the people and their employment and bent of mind. The tint of the atmosphere seems to be governed by this principle, but also it is reflex in its action on the people themselves. Especially is this the case with visitors from other regions. The more highly developed, on coming into a new tract of country, are able to tell, by this alone, the general character and occupations of the people there. The influence, however, very quickly extends to themselves. It does not change them in character, of course, but it does affect their sensations, and is almost instantaneously seen in the changing hue of their robes. Thus, as one visits a strange district, one very speedily begins to feel, within and without, that sense of brotherhood and sisterhood which is one of the most delightful of blessings I have found. Everywhere you go you find brothers and sisters. Try to think of it, and see what it would mean if it were thus on earth. Then the angel's greeting of peace and goodwill, indeed would be realized, and earth would be the antechamber of the heavenly home. We returned from that city asking ourselves what difference our visit had made in us, and what we had learned. For my own part, it was not difficult to see that the very fact of my own little girl being there was enough. She is a gift I had not expected. But as we returned leisurely across the plain, we found that each had received some special blessing for herself alone. As we had approached the city by the air, we preferred now to go afoot across the plain, until we reached the mountains. And as we went we talked of what we had seen. Now, I could fill many pages with that talk, and I assure you it would not be uninteresting. But time and space are to you, and to publishers, of more account than they are to us, so I will hasten on to what I have to tell. We reached our own sphere, just as our mother angel had also returned from a journey to the bridge, of which I have already told you. She brought with her this time one you know.
Name, please.
Mrs. S. She had been through a rather trying experience. When first she came over, she was taken to a place where she might have progressed rapidly. Hers was a perplexing case, so many mixed traits that it was very difficult to place her exactly. So she was given the chance and helped in every way. But, you must know, free will and personality are very important things here, and are never overruled when help is being offered. She soon grew restless, and it was seen that she would have to be given her way. So she was warned and advised, and then taken to the parting of the ways to choose her own road, as she wished to do. A guardian was appointed to keep constant watch, in order that if help was sought any time it would be near at hand. Well, she did not seem to know where to go or what to do, to find what she wanted, peace. So she wandered on and spent a considerable period in the neighborhood of the bridge. It was only when she had learned for herself, that her own willful course led again and again, into places where the darkness always increased, and people, sights and sounds were of a nature not to radiate happiness, but sometimes terror, that at last she wandered along the borderland, and, by and by, turned a little towards the light and was gradually helped back again to the home she had left. She is now progressing, slowly, to be sure, but still with an ever-softening heart, and more humility and trust, and she will do well in time. That is why I have seen so little of her, and been of so little use. But I may be able to help a little now and again as time goes on. Perhaps that is why she has been brought to the place, where I am destined to spend a more or less protracted period of service. I did not know her in the earth life, except through you, and your friendship with her children may be the link which will enable her to receive any little help I am able to give. You see, everything is considered here, even the things which seem so casual and transitory in the earth life. They are all registered and viewed in their relation to one another, all the seemingly casual talks or chance meetings, a book read, a hand shaken in the street for the first time and never again, a few friends meeting, in the same way, at a mutual friend's house and never meeting again. Everything and every item is registered, considered, coordinated and used when, and if, occasion offers. And so may it be in this case. Be, therefore, not remiss to weigh well all you do, and every word you say, not in anxiety, but rather by cultivating a habit of will to do good, always and everywhere to radiate kindness of heart, for in the kingdom, these are not of small account, but go to make robes bright and bodies radiant. And so, dear, good night once again. A wish not without its significance to you, if otherwise to us, for here all is good to them who goodness love, and night is absent always where the true light shines forever, and all is peace.